Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be
Hey,
true
hey,
too.
hey, hey. I thought about the episode title for a while, and I was like, I think that's appropriate. Um, just real quick, hello. Um, for those of you tuning in for the special episode, um, we had an interesting end to our game last time that involved the acquisition of certain deliverable goods that these two lovely people would like to utilize this time to fulfill a promise to an old, grumpy vampire. And it also worked out that they had a night in between. Um, so this will suffice as downtime. But for the purposes of getting everything set up, we initially will kind of pick up after the labyrinth. Um, you are getting out of the labyrinth on basically the dusk of this day. Going home, you have this night to kind of prepare and do the things that you would do in a downtime normally. Now, notably for you, as you both get home, unless there's anything that you would do on the way home, that is entirely. I will not uh, rush you home if there would be things that you would do. If not, Ygritte, when you walk in your front door, or however your haven is laid out, there is a distinct smell that hits you. It is old, musty, dried blood. Very familiar from your time in the labyrinth as you got closer to the heart, and it will kind of wash over you. Roland, as soon as you enter the residence as well, there is a notable scent of it, but it doesn't hit you as hard as it hits Ygritte.
uh, that might be coming from where I kept the book.
Well, let's make sure you're free.
So
I'm gonna start towards my room.
I assumed it would be your room. I was going to ask. That was where you had initially done the scene where Roland walked in and you were kind of floating in the air. That would have been your room.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you get closer to your door, it very much is permeating from that space. You open the door. You find in the middle of your room, kind of Roland where she would have been floating, on the floor, there are scorch marks in this much smaller than like the runic circle that Fee had made, um, or any of the symbols that you had seen down within the temple. Um, but a circle of runic markings, scorch marks, and what appears to be the ashes, the remains of a burned book.
Ugh. Well, I guess I couldn't have read any more of that book anyway.
Yeah. Well, it means he's free of the book. So,
Well, hopefully that means he fucked off home.
Eagered
I
in the
mean,
back of your mind. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Son of a bitch! He left a trigger.
Yeah, and now every time you hear the word, the letter C, you piss your pants for fun. I don't know why. No, you are perfectly fine. Um, the smell quickly dissipates as the rooms are opened and walked through. Um, the markings, the scorchings on the floor would likely take a little more effort to get rid of, but for the most part, they are uh, temporary, it would seem. The
Well,
She
we'll
doesn't
get
ashes,
spend a lot of time on it. She just kind of like sweeps it up and then throws a rug over it.
that's fair, 100%.
no. We'll
She's
get
like, I'll deal
one
with
of
that
those.
later.
We'll get one of those floor buffers for you.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to deal with that tonight.
No. I'm just saying we can get one of the
And I
floor
just don't want to
buffers.
look at it again.
It's fair. You know, any kind of mystic circle is never a good thing in a home.
Oh no, definitely not. We'll take care of it, but we should probably freshen up and go meet with Portia.
Yeah, let's not get off on the wrong foot again every time.
Hey, that's on you. I don't know why she likes me.
That's because
You're a, for
she
lack of a better
knows
word, you're a kindred spirit.
mm, she knew
AKA a
what she could
bitch.
get out of you.
Yeah, that's true. That's gonna be a topic of conversation.
Yeah, she was nice to you because she knew what you were going through. Yay!
Was great. Um, so
Yeah, yeah.
before
Let's
we go, how do we okay, I know how I want to play this,
well,
but
if we're gonna take a shower, I'm gonna get dressed, and then we can have a conversation.
fair enough.
I don't want to be in these clothes too much longer. We're wading through sewers. I may not be, fashion icon, but I don't want sewer smell.
Bad look walking into a nightclub that way, so
Yeah, generally.
True.
Yep. So I will go change clothes and clean. Come
All
back
fair.
and then alright. I feel better.
so you want to show up unannounced?
Oh, most assuredly.
Also, I I gotta be honest, boss. I don't trust Portia. Obviously. Um.
Yeah. No, she gave her. So here's the
So
thing.
okay, my thought. I want to show up with one of your fancy like sound system boxes, like the ones that look like briefcases
Yeah,
with all like
like
the flippy
hell,
things on them.
like the Halberd.
Yeah. But I don't want it to be in there. I'm gonna keep it in my bag.
Okay,
I'll just put it on the table. See if she just like grabs it and tries to walk off with it.
sounds fine to me.
And do we want to do any listening devices?
Sure, I can put mm, uh
We could just go low tech on it.
yeah, I mean I can put something in the case. Trying to bug the chalice is gonna be a
Oh
futile
no,
effort.
I'm not thinking about like I
I mean
I
I
don't want
could
it
bug
to
the
go with
chalice.
her. I don't want it to go with her. I want us to have it. Like I just want to
Well
like
no, I mean
record
like
our conversation with her.
that's fair. I mean, yeah, we can do that. I was
I'm not
thinking
trying
of
to go like too psyops here.
oh, I mean, because if I had a little more time, I could have put like a clay bottom on the bottom of the cup and stuck a listening device underneath that. And
Nah. I just want proof of our conversation.
oh, well, that's easy enough.
Yeah.
Burner phone and recording. Yeah,
All right. We'll do it that way.
Easy enough for you to
So
rig up.
yeah.
No rolls required.
So, show up when the doorman asks us. We'll go, Portia is expecting us. We walk in, go back to her back room. We'll probably get stopped. Tell
At
them,
least twice.
tell Portia that Roland and Ygritte are waiting. Something, they have the item or some,
No.
secret agent bullshit like that.
That's it's. We're waiting in our meeting room. That's it. You don't need to say anything more than that. She'll know.
Fair enough.
I mean, she'll assume we won't show up again until we have the item.
Yeah, and she didn't tell us to contact her.
I don't care
She
about
didn't
that.
even.
To be fair,
She just said, "Go get the thing."
uh-huh. And like
All
two
right.
good little dogs, we went and got the thing. I'm not
Um,
happy about it either.
I was gonna say something, but let's just go get this over with.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Maybe eventually I'll bite. Alright.
So, if there is nothing that you are intending to do before you leave, we will jump to. Where's my folder? We will jump to the Succubus Club. The music, like all the time that you've ever been here, spills out into the street. The line wraps around the block because it is the Succubus Club, and it is intended to be packed at every possible moment that it can be. Serving as both an Elysium as well as potentially a haven for Annabelle and Portia, as you've come to know. You find yourselves, when you get closer to the door, one of the security guards outside puts his hand up to the earpiece that you know he has, and he looks right at you both and waves you over.
Oh, we just walk up. We don't stop in the line.
No, no, no. He's not stopping you in the line. He's at the door. He's waving you to him to skip the line.
Oh yeah. No,
Um, as soon as you get up to him, he goes, "Uh, you're expected inside.
I
We
know.
were told."
Have a good night. And
You
walk in.
meet no resistance as you enter into the loud, obnoxiously filled uh, Succubus Club. It is everything that you remember it to be, just as packed as every other night. When you get in there, at the bar, an arm reaches out and grabs you for a minute, and you see. I got a lot of notes in here. You see. There he is. Brett.
Mm,
He stops you and he goes, "Hey, uh, what the hell's going on tonight?"
what do you mean?
Portia told us to make time, make the room available, do all the stuff that we would normally do for some pretty high profile shit, and I'm just wondering, seeing you two here, what is going on? And I thought I'd ask.
Well, keep this between us, Striker, but hopefully a lot and hopefully nothing. I
Part of me wants to
I
ask more and the other part doesn't, so
that's fair. It's I wish I knew less.
okay. Well, I guess should I does knowing more
Are
put
they
me in
both
more
here today?
Oh, they're both. All three of them are there.
Oh, oh, this is gonna be even better. And he just puts a hand to his head and just rubs. Mm.
That's why I thought I'd try and catch you out here.
No, no,
Portia said
it's
it
we
would
don't have.
be today. I don't know. I mean, I assume that she set this up with you guys, but
Mm, it it had to be today because there's no more time left.
yeah, I don't. I've decided I don't want to know. I think.
Yeah, it's
It's probably for the best, Striker.
power struggles in power places, my friend.
Um. All right. On that
Stay
note,
stay safe.
yeah, that is much easier said than done.
Always.
And he will kind of turn back to the bar, letting you guys move along. Um, in doing so, you make your way.
He'll just look back at Egret and go, "Fuck, we have
I've had an eldritch being in my head for
that's
a month.
fine. I'm just
I'm a lot less scared these nights.
I'm not. It's not about scared. It's about navigating the minefield."
I know. I'm saying I
Mm,
used to be scared.
mm.
Let's
Well,
go.
good luck to us.
You
We
make
go.
your way down the familiar hallway to the room where you know Portia likes to meet. There are other rooms, but you know the one. You know it even more so because standing outside of that room is the primogen of your clan. Standing there looking down at something in her hand, she turns to notice you both, and this smile very much creeps across her face. Well, well, well. I don't know what you've done, but she's happier than I've seen her in decades.
Mm. Somehow that concerns me more, but it is a pleasure to see you, Annabelle.
Likewise, you have both made this night interesting and, well, judging by her mood, it's going to be a good few months at least. So, I can only imagine what you had to do or what she asked you to do, and that's where I'll leave it. I don't want to know. I don't care. But good work,
Mm.
whatever it was.
Well, thank you.
Friendly heads up though.
Mm.
Diana is in there as well. She was
Yeah,
asked specifically to come in for this. So,
yes.
whatever it is, it's going to be enjoyable.
For who?
Well, me,
It's
I'll
gonna
be
be
sitting
something.
over there.
Away from all this. Must be nice.
I have my own concerns, young one. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm
None
sure.
of which is ensuring that you, amongst the rest of our clan, are very well heard and taken care of. Though you don't think of me as the caretaker that I truly am, I'll forgive you tonight.
Well, Annabelle, if only we had started off on better feet.
You know, I've found that I'm always the person that I want to be when presenting myself to new people. And I think we started off just where we were supposed to.
Mm.
Look at the great things you've accomplished under my leadership.
Mm. Well,
Well, we shouldn't keep them waiting.
I couldn't agree more. And she opens the door uh, and beckons you both in. Um, As such, you hear a terrifying sound as opening the door, Portia and Diana are laughing amongst one another. The normal smugness of Portia not there as she sits and talks with Diana on the back couch. They have smiles across their face that are truly uh, off-putting and disturbing.
Can I make an insight? If this genuine or
Make an insight. Yep. Wits and insight.
I'm probably not going to do well at this, but you know.
Well, let me double check. Let me look at it. I gotta pull up a character sheet because I never remember everything.
No, wits and
Do
insight is fine. I'm just saying it's
yeah,
not my greatest of stats.
yeah, wits and insight. Or honestly, you could do. What's your is your charisma more than your wits?
Oh yeah.
Do charisma. You can do charisma.
Just gonna do that. Oh, that's not terrible.
4 is pretty good. Um, for as much as you can tell, understanding that the two creatures that you're looking at are not what they appear to be on the outside. But understanding that to some degree also helps. It seems pretty genuine. They seem like if you didn't know it, if you maybe were brought up into this under different circumstances, they kind of have the same sort of banter as old friends.
That makes it worse.
But as you enter and you hear the laughing and the camaraderie being shared, it slowly dies down to baser little smiles, smirks, as all eyes turn to the door that is open and the three of you walking in.
I will bow slightly.
The door is closed behind you, and the music recedes from the outer club area. The bow is returned by both Portia and Diana, though Annabelle is standing behind you at this point. So, well, the guests of the night, come, sit, both of you. I'm sure there's much you wish to discuss, and there is definitely things that we do need to talk about.
Ygritte's
Okay.
gonna walk across the room without saying anything still. She's going to sit down and she's going to place the empty case next to her on the floor.
Okay. And the real cup is in your backpack?
Yes.
Okay. Uh,
And she's
Portia.
going to take the backpack off and put it between her feet on the floor.
Okay. Portia goes, My, you two are impressive. I can't believe that Annabelle kept you such a secret for so long.
Well, to be fair, we haven't been to the city long for her to keep such a secret.
Yes, that's true. You haven't been here as long, and you, young one, you haven't been one of us for very long, which honestly makes your accomplishments that much more impressive, and I do sincerely mean it. So, before we go any further, I do just want to make you aware that Diana will not be attending the entirety of our meeting this evening, though I did want her to be here for the start of it. Diana, dear, um, tomorrow night, I believe there's going to be a bit of a meeting. She kind of looks at you with a, right? Sounds about right. At the Prince's Elysium. And I think that I'll be in attendance, and I would love for you to come with everyone that you would love to bring to such an event. And Diana's smile that she had when you guys walked in kind of goes away. God damn it, Portia. You know I can't keep doing these favors for you. But in my capacity as the Justicar for your clan, would this be in the interest of my profession for me to be here, like we've discussed? And Portia will look to both of you before settling on you, Ygritte, and then looking at the bag between your legs and going, yes, I think that I'll have much to say that you would want to relay to the circle. And Diana goes, well, it's been fun catching up. It was nice meeting you too. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
It will be a pleasure to see you as always.
I'm going to go have a drink. And Diana gets up and she goes to leave the room. For a brief moment, the music coming back in as the door is opened. And as she leaves and the door closes, she looks back into the room. And there's just a slight glow in her eye as she looks at Portia, and then the door closes. You're left now with Annabelle, who moves over to one of the couches, sits opposite you, and she goes, well, she being Portia. Sorry, I should specify. Well, now, I guess you probably have questions. And I think that, judging by how I felt the other night, we can talk about them.
So you noticed as well?
I imagine that it was less felt by you in the room, but everybody that's ever touched that item, that's ever made a deal with him, definitely felt it.
Mm. Funny thing is, to do that was a split-second decision. But you sent me in there knowing just how big of a price I'd have to pay.
And what do you think the price was that you would have had to pay?
Part of myself. Part of what makes me me. At least that's how it was explained.
Well, the prices are different for everyone, dear. But trust me, the older you get, and by your capabilities, I'm going to guess that you're going to live a very long life. But the older you get, we all lose parts of ourselves. I wouldn't become so attached to them now.
But I am curious. Because he told me quite a few things. But he specifically told me he could not tell me what you pulled out of the heart. I'm mostly just curious, honestly.
Hmm, curiosity. I don't know that that's good enough. Nor do I think that I would divulge that information. Suffice it to say, it was worth it. My bargain that was struck, the deals that I made have been well worth it. And I would say that you likely got some things from him, from the deals, that you found useful as well. Would you disagree?
I honestly tried to make as few deals with him as possible,
Not everybody understands how to use a resource.
because every deal escalated in price.
Do you not have the time to pay it?
It wasn't time he wanted, which again, I have plenty of. But in the end, he got what he wanted, and you will get what you wanted.
And you will get what you wanted. Everybody wins.
I hope so. Sincerely hope so.
You know, it's not one-time use,
I know.
the item that you used, the item that you found, rather.
I knew what it did as soon as it reached my hand.
Well, I fully intend, should you ever need it, to allow you access to it.
You plan to stay off everything for that long, huh?
Like I said, it's not a one-time use. I
I'm
fully
aware.
intend to utilize it, like every tool in my arsenal.
It's not surprising that tools like these come into your possession, considering your generation.
Oh, you think that your information on me is enough to warrant the tone?
No, that was a compliment.
Ah, I see.
I'm just. I know we don't get physically tired, but I've been grinding through the labyrinth for like 24 hours at this point. My brain.
Oh, I fully recall. Of that, we are very much on the same page. How long was he with you? Months?
I don't know, honestly. First, a little while, I didn't even know he was in my possession.
Hmm,
I mean, call it that. I guess it's technically the other way around.
that's fair. Well, Egret, when I found him, stumbling into the caves on my home island, finding myself in a place that I didn't know existed and probably doesn't anymore, or is decaying, or whatever it's doing. When I found that item, it stayed with me for decades. He was all that I had for quite a long time, as I was lost in that place. And when I finally emerged, I did utilize the tools, the things that helped me survive to get where I am today. So, before you give me the spiel about how I used you like a tool or how you feel betrayed, whatever it is, you can save it. Yes, I did. You worked perfectly. Some of my favorites. And, as a bonus, you came back. Before Tony, and the one before him. Odd man, never met him. Before they acquired that item, deep down in that dark place, there were a couple before them. I made them the same deal. You're the one that came back.
Wow. You've been planning this quite some time.
Longer than you've been alive and unalive, my dear. Do you understand? As you know the price and the rules behind that item, behind how you had to get it, where you can only use it once. That information was not shared with me before I made my decision. Had you used it and not done what you did, which I assume that he asked you to do, you would have found yourself outside of the labyrinth, outside of the caves in which you had found yourself stumbling in, and you would have been alone with no way to reach back out. No voice, no guidance, just alone. And it wouldn't be for another few centuries until you understood what actually happened. By then, you had realized that you had been cheated in a way, but couldn't do anything about it. So yes, I've been planning this for a long time. And the fact that you did what you did, I can't say that it's going to make it hard for me to sleep this morning.
Is that why part of your deal with him was that he couldn't deceive you?
Potentially.
Honestly, I'm just trying to talk like people who have a shared X at this point.
I think that's an interesting way to look at it, but not entirely false.
The way women vent about a bad boyfriend.
You see, for a minute, Portia kind of rubs the side of her head for a moment. And her mood shifts. Her demeanor changes slightly, and she kind of sits a little more forward and a little less formal in your direction. I understand that you likely have feelings towards me and what I've asked you to do. And even though I don't feel that same way and haven't for such a long time, I can at least be aware of it.
Oh, Portia, I don't mean to be rude. I don't care. I'm not upset anymore. I I get it. You've just through and please take this as a compliment and not an insult. But just through the centuries, you found people and found things to use to your advantage. I get it. I'm just glad to be rid of him. And while I'm a little bit angry at times that I didn't know the full story of what I was going after and what I was being asked to do, that's fleeting. To be perfectly fair, I I knew there was going to be some catch with the offer of two major boons and speaking on behalf of the prince. I'm honestly just one of those people who likes to have information, and I understand from the way the rapport we're having here that I'm not going to get much out of you. And that's how you've become who you are. So, and she reaches down, and I've noticed you've already clocked the decoy. So, that was honestly just because, well, I can't trust anyone these nights. You know. No insult to you or anything. And she pulls out the chalice and sets it on the table.
There's a minute when you pull it out that her eyes kind of go to the chalice, but almost as fast they stay and refocus on you. And as you set it there and you say what you've said, she looks at you and says, I mean it entirely when I say that you'll have a long life. If you remain as steadfast in your abilities as you currently are, you will outlive us all, and you'll bring a lot of good name to the Toreador clan. And that is really all that I care about these nights. And I know that you, as ones of your age often do, feel that you've been purposely left in the dark unnecessarily. If you want to keep that head on your shoulders and live as long as I know you can, you'll start to understand that even those that are your allies should be kept on a short leash. And that humanity that you still cling to will only serve to stick your neck out for the guillotine. Now, I'm not going to preach to you all night. I'm sure you have things that you want to do, and quite frankly, I imagine that you don't really want to see me too much. But for what it's worth, and I mean this with the utmost sincerity, thank you. Thank you for being a reliable tool. And
You see her kind of bristle with that word.
as much as you may hate it, the world that you're in now, dear, is ruled by people far more ruthless than me. And you've made a very powerful friend.
Before we go, I do have one other thing. I understand that he annoyed you our last meeting, but to be quite fair, I could not have accomplished this feat without my sire. And I would like to, if I could, transfer one of my major boons. Or honestly, I think he deserves a boon of his own for his part in this to Roland.
Roland,
Mm.
do you feel that you contributed enough? Did you go through the anguish that your childer did? Do you think you've earned such a thing?
Honestly, no.
I like
It
that.
doesn't mean I don't deserve a boon for trying to get what you wanted. But do I deserve what she just asked? No. She went through a much more harrowing thing than I did. As you used us as a tool to get what you wanted, the creature used me as a tool to try and get what he wanted out of her.
There, both of you roll insight wits.
Oh, great. My worst thing that I can put with wits.
You like swinging a big sword, not reading people. That's perfectly normal.
Wow.
Yep.
Even with just a one, there's a moment where the mask cracks a little bit. You see kind of this very well kept together, realistically ancient creature. It kind of lets it slip a little bit as you say what you said. I'm familiar with how he uses people against us, his motivation. Long ago, when he was younger, fresher, the things that he made you see weren't entirely unreal. The things that he showed you that he could do, he did. So, in light of all of that, Roland, I will bequeath to you a minor boon based on your own evaluation of your input. Ygritte, yours remain unchanged. And again, the addition, and I'll even extend to you, Roland, as I will to, as well, I had intended for Annabelle in this room as well. The three of you, and no one else, will have access to use this artifact, should you need it. You have some time. And like
It's
with
most generous.
everything that he creates, it may take you that time that you need before you use it, before you need to use it, to be willing to pay what the cup's price truly is. Of that, I'm sure you're unaware.
Yeah, like you said, we have time to figure it out.
Yes. She kind of sits up and straightens her back once more, leans back. So, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss? Because I've cleared my entire night for you two, if you wish it.
Um, Hold on a second. Just trying to think out loud. So we want to ask her about the what she actually knows.
Yeah, if she'll give us any of the information on it. I mean, I assume at this point she'll just be like, "Oh, you'll hear tomorrow night," but
All right.
it's worth a shot.
Yeah. All right. I do have a question, if I might, Portia. What is it that you actually know about what's going on with the prince?
The details don't concern you. However, I will allow you this. That was my phone.
That was your phone?
No. Um, I knew Hardstadt. I remember when the clans were formed. And I remember a very interesting thing he told me before he died. And it is that, with what I'm assuming your prince has, to verify the claim, that should cement her position where she rightfully belongs. And at that, there is a little bit of an eye roll, but at the same time, you do understand that there is respect there too.
Okay, I was gonna say, can I make an insight if she actually
No, no,
believes that?
she definitely is
Yeah, yeah.
fully aware. Yeah. The troubling thing I find is that if one were so easily, well, maybe not easily, but if one were so prevented from their spot on the council, if maybe there is more that needs evaluating.
The way you say that makes me think you have your eyes on an inner circle position.
Not in the slightest.
Fair enough.
But then again, if I did, I wouldn't tell anyone. No one's supposed to know, except for a select few. The fewer the better. If your prince truly seeks this, and achieves it, I don't envy her. Running this thing we call the Camarilla, making those decisions at that scale, seems exhausting. Besides, why would I want to be part of the inner circle when I can spread my influence in a manner of other ways.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide if asking her if asking Portia if she has any thoughts on, who would take Magdalena's place as prince if she does succeed, but I don't know if that's too. I think that might be the cider talking, and that might be a little too forward for this conversation.
Let the cider talk.
I don't know. I think her her thought process on that
I
might
would
be actually enlightening.
to just kind of, and I don't, it's your decision to make. Either way, you can ask it or not ask it. But I would say that at least in this situation, in this certain setting, your primogen is in the room. Portia is here, and you understand her kind of influence. But the candidness with which she is speaking with you more has been more on the level of an equal, a peer, than talking down to you. So, at least in this interaction, in this instance, I would say that Ygritte wouldn't feel too out of line if you did want to ask it. But again, that is your choice.
She'll pipe up. She'll go, so, obviously, feel free to tell me just to shut up. But I am curious. If the prince succeeds, is there anyone. Is there any thoughts you have on who would take her place here in Chicago?
Uh, Either of you, actually.
Portia's eye raises, and she glances over to Annabelle, who is smirking slightly, and says, "Well, I don't want the job at all. This city is a clusterfuck of messes. I'm happy enough in my position. I fully intend to keep it under whomever takes up the crown, but I will not be throwing my hand in that ring."
I'm
And
sorry,
then
Annabelle said that?
Annabelle said that.
Okay.
And then as Portia turns back from Annabelle to you, she says, "I forgive me, as I have. There are times during this conversation, during this night, seeing what you've accomplished, that I am forgetting what you understand. And I am forgetting your age and how long you've played these games. And assuming, perhaps incorrectly, how much you fully know about things. Not that you even would. Roland, I'm not familiar with your age, but I would imagine that you also aren't aware of this, as things to do with the Justicars and the Inner Circle are very well-guarded secrets. I will grant you some insights into how the process works. And it would appear that your prince isn't even entirely familiar with it, if she's planning successor. It is believed, theoretically, that the members of the Inner Circle are in fact princes, notable figures amongst our community. What makes them part of the Inner Circle is they are secretive. Now, what that means is the people that know their identity don't talk about it. for one reason or another. Either they're not alive to tell those secrets, or they're loyal. If your prince were to become that member of the inner circle, she could very well retain her seat here, juggling both jobs, as it were. Whether or not she wants to do that, I can't speak to. I've only met her a couple of times. But she has an ambition about her that I find disgusting, but very true. I would I would make it very apparent, should you choose to support her, should you choose to be in that room tomorrow night and hear what is said, that you are perfectly well committed to never speaking about what is said. Because if you do, it could be far more chaotic and catastrophic than anything that's ever befallen the city before, and my God, do I know what that statement means.
That is rather enlightening.
That's a lot of chaos.
I'm rolling. That's only the chaos that you've dealt with.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that I've been here for only a few years now, and Praxis, within a month of me coming, old prince who is dead has come back to life and wants the princedom. Sabat incursion. Sabat trying to take over the city. Werewolf incursion. That's a lot of chaos in a short time span.
Yes, I imagine that's, well, I don't imagine, I fully understand that to be the reason that Diana was called in, amongst other things. Chicago has become kind of a hot spot of chaos, especially since your prince took over.
Yeah.
However, for what it's worth, I think she's managed quite well,
Everybody wants to test the new prince.
as they often do. I wouldn't be surprised if that quieted down should she assume the role that she seeks. There will be much more tools at her disposal to utilize to keep the peace in the city of an inner circle member.
Maybe then we can get a little bit of vacation.
It's entirely possible that you can get a vacation from her, but your clan needs you. You're some of our shining stars.
Hmm.
Oh, don't worry, I won't send you back down there.
Well, not like much is going on down there anyway.
Not anymore. It should just decay as time sees fit at this point,
Well,
and just go back to the man-made.
oh, it'll be more than that. There are places down there, like in the caves where I found it, that aren't real places. They're going away. Now, to be fair, I don't know or frankly care. But I imagine that if it decays at the rate that it was built, many of the denizens down there will have eons to plan their exit.
I do have one final question because when Roland and I were speaking before we came here to meet you, we noticed one small thing, and you kept referring to me having a relationship with the keeper of the labyrinth. Now, because I had no idea that you knew about the book or him, I kept thinking, and I think Roland did as well, that you were speaking of my friendship with Clancy. Were you actually talking about the book that the whole time? And I was just not getting it?
Well, I wasn't aware that you knew any kindred named Clancy, so yes, I believe that you are correct in your new understanding. Though, to be fair, I was vague, purposefully so.
Obviously.
It's my understanding, though I've never been to the labyrinth here, that there are many that keep it, a council of their own. Perhaps this Clancy is a member.
Uh, he is the liaison, I guess, that uh, the prince named to, I guess, sort of the Primogen Council. He's the Nosferatu.
I'm unfamiliar. Annabelle, and she will go. Couldn't tell you. I'm familiar with the actual Primogen of Clan Nosferatu, Khalid, but I don't know Clancy.
I believe he was at the last few big meetings, but he does tend to stay in the shadows.
And I
So
would
that
not have
makes sense.
looked.
Anyway,
Nevertheless, I perhaps it is my joyous mood, but I do want to thank you both again for what you've done. I know it means little to you and was more of a hindrance than an errand, but to those, for me, this is exceptionally priceless. And again,
well,
Yeah.
your social credit has gone up considerably. I wasn't joking when I said rising stars. Both of you.
that I appreciate, and I'm glad that business all worked out for the best.
As am I. Now, if there's no other bits of gossip about him you want to discuss, or anything about the politics of the city, I don't want to keep you. But you're welcome to stay.
She's gonna give Roland a look like anything else.
Mm, nothing that comes to pressing mind.
Well, that's why you have the boons. And I'll make sure that Brett is made aware of your minor one. Annabelle can confirm it later if you wish.
Well, I am quite peckish. I think I'll be going out for a bite.
Yes. I think we would all do with a good meal.
Well
And
then,
yes, I'm sorry, I'm still having far too much fun with puns.
Was that in character?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
You see a brief smile, smirk from Portia. Um, and even Roland, this is probably more off-putting to you as well, but even Annabelle seems to be in a decent mood. A small smile on her face. And she actually looks to Portia and says, "Well, without me, he wouldn't be here, under my tutelage and all."
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be where.
Here, dear, I formally oversee all of the Toreador admitted into the city, and I allowed you to stay. Therefore, everything that you've accomplished, I should take a little bit of credit for.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
you
and
should
I
take a little
did
credit.
also approve the siring of that one. So, realistically,
Mm, I'm sure you did.
see, I told you, Portia, even in these times of great emotional stress, he understands.
Uh-huh. Well, then by our leave, we will go. And if you want to take credit for anything after the fact, just let me know.
No, but I will. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Fighting the urge to eye roll so bad.
If nothing else needs to be discussed, you
Uh,
are, of course, free to stand and go at any
hold,
time. The two
hold
women
on for a
remain.
second.
Oh yeah, in the middle of Annabelle talking, she's gonna get up and put her backpack on and grab the case and start walking.
Fair.
I have a question.
Oh.
If not for Matt.
Oh, for me. Okay.
So if describe the soul has a visual indicator that I'm doing it.
Ooh. Let me open a book. Unless you have.
Do, 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 do.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't say, so I'm asking.
Okay. Let me double check the rules. No. If I could type. Hmm. It's more of a cursory like scan.
Okay.
That you can see the emotional state, you can see the resonance of blood, subject is the type of being they are, under the influence of blood sorcery, committed diablerie in the last year. If you get a critical win, you discover something unexpected, and then you can use it to scan a crowd. I will also say, because Roland would know, in an Elysium, using your abilities, especially on another kindred, could be an issue, and I
Mhm.
understand that that's why you looked to see. But I think in this instance, and for future uses of this, I'm gonna say that It doesn't say or suggest that there would be any visual indicator.
Okay.
So if you wanted to use it, I would say that using Scry the Soul could be undetectable unless somebody were, for example, searching out that sort of thing. Or I don't know that there's any abilities that let you sense other abilities like that. Off the top of my head, I
No,
can't think of anything. So
I can't think of anything either.
I'm gonna say at least homebrew rugally, just to clarify it, that Scribe the Soul would not give any outward appearance of doing so. What do you wanna do?
Well, then I will hold hold up my hand to Portia to shake.
She will bend it in the kiss the ring kind of hand gesture.
Fine, 100 fine. That's not a problem. I'll still do it.
Okay. Okay. You get hungrier.
Uh-huh. So then scribe this. Oh, intelligence experts complete. All right, here we go. Oh, not cancel. God damn it. None. Submit. All willpower.
Okay. Yeah, you could potentially get a critical win there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That is a critical win.
So it's 7
Yeah.
versus. Let me give you the verses. Composure and subtlety.
Subterfuge.
Subterfuge. Sorry.
Where's my... You don't get to see Portia's dice.
That's fine. I'll be scared anyway, so it's fine. And that's what, 7 successes? Is that what I'm reading right?
And as a bonus and subtle plug, I'm going to be rolling them in this lovely dice tray here that I got from somebody.
Ooh, ooh, where'd you get that fancy thing?
I got it from this cool little place. I don't know your Etsy store. You're going to have to plug it yourself.
Bite Size Creations Leatherworks.
Bite Size Creations Leatherwork on Etsy. Look them up. They do great work. And you got 7 successes?
That's what I'm seeing. I think it's what I'm seeing, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, based on Scry the Soul, you get... Why did I scroll away? I'm not a smart man.
So wait. Hold on. Do I
Mhm.
get something unexpected because I critted
You do.
too?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay. So you get on a win, the storyteller truthfully answers a number of questions equal to the margin of the roll about the target's aura and psyche, including the emotional state of the subject, the resonance whether the subject is a vampire, werewolf, or ghoul, whether the subject is under the influence of blood, sorcery, or other magic, whether the subject has committed diablerie, and a critical win allows you something special. So pick two, and I can tell you those. And then you'll get the
Has she?
unexpected thing extra.
Okay, so has she committed the robbery?
Yes.
Ooh, within the last year.
And um, what is resonance?
So resonance is something that we've not really used, but like essentially, it's more for, my understanding is more for thin bloods. The resonance can kind of change how your beast comes out.
Oh, okay.
In
So
this,
it wouldn't.
it kind of affects the temperament. It's more of a storytelling aspect that adds flavor to like your hunt, but not really any immediate mechanical effect, except for like a thin blood alchemy ingredient, that sort of thing.
Okay.
From what I recall, and since none of us play thin bloods, I don't really recall to it. But essentially, it's kind of the same as a mood in ways.
Okay. So then so and then I guess her move then. If
Her mood is very joyful. She's very happy.
awesome.
The unexpected thing that you get with your Scry the Soul is just a little bit of flavor. As you see, kind of from her aura that you're viewing in this way, tethers that go off in faint lines.
So kind of like blood bond or a
Mm,
bond of.
a connection, not necessarily a bond per se, but you see a tether that kind of goes to Annabelle. You see many that kind of are more faint, that spread out and kind of go in all directions, presumably to other people. The notable thing to you is you see one that goes to Ygritte as well.
Mm, okay. Interesting. Well then, as always, ladies, it has been a pleasure to be in your company, and we will take our leave of
So formal and well behaved. I can't say that I don't appreciate it.
you.
As much as
I'll
you'll
just.
love to hear it, we'll be watching you both. We have high expectations for your futures.
Mm, how joyous.
I'll see you tomorrow
After,
night.
after you, yeah, we'll motion to Egret.
We'll head out the door. She's already said her goodbyes.
Fair.
Yep.
You exit out through the club. I'm assuming out of Succubus.
Yeah.
If do I see Striker on the way out?
Striker is not there. I
Okay.
wondered if you would ask. He has other things he has to do. However, you make your way out of the Succubus Club back to the familiar streets of Chicago to do whatever it is that you have remaining to do. The night is still relatively young. A few hours maybe have passed. It did take you time to get home. It took you time to get out. But if there's anything else that you wanted to accomplish in the evening, you would be allowed to do so. Otherwise,
I'm going to feed.
ah yes,
I
feeding. No issues there.
Same.
I am a little hungry.
I noticed. So, feeding complete, as per normal, your hunger and things will reset to a new night for tomorrow. For in game
Yep.
tomorrow, next Monday, real life. Um, and with that, I think that concludes the special episode, the meeting
Yes.
of delivering an item to a very old but very happy at the outcome kindred.
Yay, we didn't
I
die.
Yay! I do have one more question for storyteller.
I am storyteller. I will answer question.
Um, with C gone, because I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his actual name.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still have theft of vitae?
Yes, you do. Um, you additionally still have something else.
That one use of shadow step or
Yes,
whatever it's called.
yes, that
Since
is
I didn't use it before.
correct. That would still be there, and you would still understand that. But yes, your abilities that you bargained for and got is yours. That is now Ygritte's power, ability, a gift, the gift.
Sweet. Just wanted to double check.
Yep, absolutely. So many more pages in that book, and they only got better but scarier in their punishments. So,
Mhm.
it's really a risk reward scenario. But
Alright.
it was fun.
That's all I got.
Yes, this was, yeah.
No, I had a
This
good time.
was,
It makes
yeah,
it makes the downtime easier too. No
yeah.
typing or anything like that.
And then
Um,
we don't have to bog down
that's
the
true.
actual game.
Well, and that's kind of I was wondering how you guys had planned to do it, if you were going to talk to her before or during or previously to the night of coming back. So that answered my question. So thank you. Thanks. I had an
Yeah.
enjoyable time pretending to be several people, and I enjoy seeing you guys.
Yep.
So
All right.
thanks. But
Thank
anyway,
you.
I will
Bye, everybody.
transition to the screen of the end and say goodnight, and we'll see you Monday because we should be back. Fingers crossed, schedules work out, all that fun stuff. But adieu.